evening, class. So today we are focusing on an amazing concept that will be revealed to you shortly. But I want to go over some things first. And I gave you two different handouts. The first two is just, the first one you really need, the second one is just extra notes or any questions you have as we go through this. Some of you are visual, audio, kinesthetic, so just an opportunity. The concept map we'll do towards the end when we get to it. First thing I want to talk about is codes and symbols. So in history class, we've talked about some of the different meanings and how things can be perceived. So sometimes there's not more than just, there's more than one answer or not a correct answer, I'll say that. Similar to a lesson we had a week ago when we had a co-teacher, people solving puzzles. The idea of brain teasers, kind of using these kind of concepts to what it takes for you to do certain things like that. So today, I'm talking about hypothesize, analyze, and synthesize. And so in the first sheet that you have, it's a little outline, a graphic organizer. And I just want you to write on it in the first one, hypothesis.
On the outline?
It's on the outline.
Okay.
So number one, you write hypothesis. And this is just a brief definition. It's an idea or explanation that you test out. So it's an idea or an explanation that you test out. So when we do some of the examples today, you guys will have different hypotheses on what you're going to do. And you're going to kind of go back to those. The second step of what we're going to do is analyze. So you're going to break down a complex topic into small parts. So we're going to make hypothesis, and then we're going to make an analysis after we have 2 or 3 different examples. And then finally, we're going to come to hopefully a synthesis where we combine all of our elements and we want to form a coherent whole, so we have one idea of what the concept is. And so that comes in, we break down the concept, and you have the second graphic organizer for that. So again, hypothesis is an idea or explanation that you test, you study. Analysis, when you break it down, something that's complex into smaller parts. You take all those parts, when we go through our examples, in the end you'll have a synthesis or something that gives you a whole concept of what we're going to go through today. Your mission will be taking the roles of code breakers. I'm going to share clues with you that will help you identify a concept that I have in mind. Your objective is to find commonalities between the examples in order to figure out the concept. Any questions? Okay, we talked about that. So really briefly, the way that I did mine, I'm thinking that now, but that's all right. Examples and non-examples. Example and non-example. For the sake of time, and I have a lot of examples, so we'll see how far we get depending upon how great code breakers you are. We talked about our steps. We're going to make hypotheses. We're going to make an analysis, and towards the end, we should come up with a synthesis of what our concept is. And I'll try to do both depending upon what you guys need from me, how well we go, how fast we go. I have mostly pictures, not too much text, so we'll kind of see what kind of we do, how that works. So, ready to start. Okay, our example 1. Who is this person?
The president.
President Barack Obama. Okay. All right, that's our example. So, is there any hypothesis, ideas you have about, what example he might set? So, a president does what kind of things? What do they do? What do they symbolize?
Leadership.
Okay, leadership. Eric, you going to say something?
I was going to say leader, actually.
Okay. All right, we'll start there. We don't want to tackle too long. Looks kind of good because he's not gray there. Very early. Very early. That's 08. Okay, second one's a little bit different. You have a guy in chains. Okay, so when you think of someone in chains and bondage, what do you think? What comes to mind?
Slavery.
Okay, slavery. What else?
Prisoner.
Prisoner.
I don't know if this is the question you're asking, but in the other picture you saw the face, and this one you just see the hands. You don't see the face.
The ELA people. So it's not personal, right?
Right.
No face. I'll say that right now. Any questions so far about our example and non-example? Let's go to the second one. See where you are. Okay. Who's this person here? You young people, I'm sure you don't know who he is.
Arthur Ashe.
You guys watch a lot of TV. Okay, Arthur Ashe.
Tennis classics.
Okay, what do we know about this guy?
Athletic.
Okay, he's athletic. What did he do?
Wasn't he the first African American to win Wimbledon?
Okay. So, what do we, is there a word?
Pioneer?
Pioneer. Okay. Anything else about?
Well-known people.
Okay, well known, popular.
Popular,
I
yeah.
don't want to say celebrity popular.
Yeah.
Has a major stadium named after him.
Yeah, well, does
Well,
have to say
yeah,
that?
that's-
Not yet, you know, well, hopefully it goes well in the next few years. Okay, so let's get to our non-example. What is this place, or what do you,
It's Augusta National Golf Course.
okay. Up until I think a few years ago, they had a certain policy. You guys know what the policy was?
I don't know if they ever changed it, but yeah, no women.
Condoleezza Rice?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's a member now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a jacket on. So what will we, as far as like our hypothesis, what are we? Is there a consistent theme that we can develop from the first one with chains to members?
Exclusion.
Exclusion. Okay.
Links.
We're gonna hold on for that. Okay, so far we have two popular people that are leaders. I guess Obama is athletic. He didn't win Wimbledon, but he's athletic. We have exclusion. Now, I don't think they had. Did they have slaves at Augusta National?
No, it was founded after slavery.
Okay. So we'll. Are these?
Although, you know, we
Well,
haven't seen any faces yet, so.
That's true.
Okay.
Keep
All
it
right. Okay.
What about mistreatment?
I
You
mean-
know, or I mean,
Prejudice?
prejudice.
Well-
I think, yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's kind of like exclusion, but.
We'll allow it. Reality stayed up there for a while, so. All right. Any questions? Okay, let's go to our third example. Who is this, or what does this represent?
Rosie the Riveter.
Rosie. So, what's Rosie's deal? She has some really strong biceps. What's her deal?
So it's in World War II.
Okay.
It was World War II. Is it encouraging women to go work in the factories? Did I make that up?
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
they want, you're strong, you know? So, but what do we, when we look at our
she's a
themes,
riveter, factory.
Physical strength.
we have to reassess
Yeah.
our categories here
I
now.
don't know. Athletic might not work.
Well, I mean,
Well-
she needs to be strong.
Yeah, that's
I
Well,
guess
true.
this is your
Yeah.
truth. I'm just listening to what you guys are gonna say. Tell me what you think.
Pioneer is a good one still.
Okay.
Women in the factory workforce were sort of pioneers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leadership, definitely. Popular,
Yes.
definitely.
Yes.
Breaking expectations.
Ah,
Can you expand on that,
Like
please?
breaking societal expectations, not what society expects.
breaking
So
the mold.
I'm gonna stick with this one though. I'm gonna. Is that fair?
Sure.
Groundbreaker.
Yeah. Confined, conventional
Okay.
conceptions of identity.
Okay. All right. You guys are getting there. All right. Questions, comments? Okay. Okay. Well, something different here. What's this here?
Is it the
It's right
novel?
the title. Yeah. Well, no, it's a. There's some. There were older movies back in the day. They were like, kind of like damsel in distress, and they would like. I don't know if you, as a kid, I actually watched all the black and white stuff with my grandparents. They would have women tied up on the railroad, and she would just kind of be like just there chilling out, and some guy would have to come and rescue her.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw this, and I thought, well, you know,
Is that a movie?
I'm not sure. I think it may have been some kind of short story or some kind of depiction, but I definitely thought that it was a good counter. Okay, so we'll say damsel.
Well, she has her face, so we can take
Yeah.
that out.
Yeah, they both have. It seems like that one's like, well, I don't know. It doesn't. She is outside of wherever he is in. I
Okay.
think.
Yes.
Or
So
the
it's
other
still sort of like separation,
Okay.
exclusion.
So it looks like she's possibly doing what?
Is she asking for something from him?
Possibly
Is he
waiting?
in carriage?
But that she has to wait for him or has to get his attention. She's on the what? She's on the outside, looking inside.
Also, I think this one also, the other two also have a sort of the past ways, ways that are different from current, from things, societal norms of the past. I would say.
Okay. So you means we gotta come up with some short phrase. Okay. Past social norms. How about we just okay. Anything else? I think I got you down a little bit. Okay. Switch it up a bit. What's this?
Not athletic.
Switched it up big time.
It's an iPod.
Okay. I always make the eye look. Make it big.
Well, it still looks like a pioneer, so I guess we can keep that one. Like it really changed society.
Okay.
We theoretically keep leadership. I mean, no other MP3 player has ever sold as well as the iPod.
They are the leader.
Okay.
And it was like the first one like that.
I was excited. I was like, oh my, you used to look like that before, bro. All right. So those themes still apply. You guys okay with the list?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's get our non-example. What is this?
Right.
This is a way of saying
stylish.
fountain pen.
Yeah.
With your finger.
Yeah.
It's basically something that we never do anymore.
Okay. So it sticks with.
Yeah, past social norms.
Okay.
It's still a message, maybe.
Okay. I'll accept that.
But I don't think it's exclusion or prejudice.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to make the argument that
Yeah, I
someone writing a
agree.
letter
Right.
depicts exclusion.
Post office needs all the postal stamps you can get. All right. So we're okay with our list.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys are getting a little quiet now. Okay. Let's go back here. What do we have?
Castro.
Okay.
Young Castro.
Let's look at our list. What do we got?
All right.
They
He's
still
definitely a leader.
Yeah.
He's definitely popular.
Definitely popular.
He was a pioneer of sorts.
Was he?
Yeah.
In Cuba. I guess
Yeah,
in
in
Cuba,
Cuba.
yeah.
That's all that matters. So, is that cool? You want to add anything else?
Communists. They're all communists.
It's like Steve Jobs.
Well,
Rosie.
I guess I kind of want to say revolutionary, but it's the same idea as pioneer. Like they're all things that didn't didn't exist before.
Yeah.
That's it.
Even Rosie, because like women worked in the women were just in the house, right? They didn't work.
Okay, you have broken the bank, sir. How many? We have 5 examples. 5 examples. Okay, so our theme is actually revolutionary. Okay. All right, sir. I don't have a treat for you yet. We come back to class tomorrow. Okay, so that's a good counterexample. Okay, our non-example. Let's just break down some of the. Let's just talk about who it is first. Let's do that. Who it's supposed to be depicting.
Queen Elizabeth I.
Okay.
So she's a non-example?
Was she revolutionary? Or let's count.
Well,
Point counterpoint.
she
Tell
was-
me.
The first queen of England.
So when we
right?
look at
Maybe not in her policies, but in her personhood, justifying as gender roles at the time. But I mean, she didn't necessarily change up England.
keep going. I want. We can.
Yeah.
It can be open for
Well,
discussion.
I don't know, because Queen Elizabeth kind of did. Like she was, her dad was Henry VIII, and he was like the first Protestant king. And
But
so,
he was still Catholic.
But he was still. But so she was like the first sort of like. She had to fight off. Well, but like England, they had to fight off the Spanish and the French and like all these Catholic countries that wanted. So I don't know.
But but that would be. Aren't there male monarchs that have to fight off people opposing for power.
Well, yeah.
But how I think she was revolutionary in the fact that she never married, and she sort of. I actually think that actually. I mean, like I would say, points in her favor are the fact that she sort of put country and monarchy ahead of like what she was expected to do as a woman, which is to marry and to bear children. And so she almost was like a precursor to like the modern, sort of woman, like Hillary Clinton
She also
style.
sort of approached the job like a man would, which
Right.
no one thought. Well, I don't know, but like.
So I'll give you my perspective, and we'll come back to this because there's a reason why I put this with Castro. So the idea of past social norms, tradition.
Right.
So the idea of, despite her femininity and her idea to have great leaders, she still kept things in tow, even more so. Despite the fact that she didn't get married because she wanted to hold on to her throne, she didn't want to share power. It wasn't because she was all for the women, she didn't want to share power to a man. Did you concede that?
So you mean
No,
if she
but let's
had,
go.
but you think if she had gotten married, she would have had to share with her
Well,
husband?
yes, she would have had to. So the idea of, and even you can look at her namesake today, the idea that she is the person that is the actual monarch. She does not share power with her husband.
Okay, but I don't want to be revolutionary or like open a powder keg, but some people could argue the same thing about President Obama.
Like what? Tell me.
Like that he has not enacted policies that have changed up the status quo.
So when you're a figurehead, what is it that you are supposed to do? So this is going somewhere else I didn't plan to. But let's go there. Let's go there. Hopefully we'll.
Okay, wait.
I agree with you. Actually, I would not call Barack Obama a
Yeah, he's
revolutionary.
not. In his personhood, yes, but in his policies, no.
So we get to our definition of what a revolutionary represents. I want us to keep these in mind. So you have an asterisk next to Obama, and you have an asterisk here as a non-example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you say she chose country over her womb,
Uh-huh.
and that and that's more important for women at the time, and then he is just a regular politician. Is that kind of the quick synopsis?
No, I'm
Well, I
saying
guess-
both of them are revolutionary in the role because they weren't expected to be in that role. Women weren't expected to be in that role.
Uh-huh.
African Americans were expected to be in that role, but their policies weren't revolutionary because they didn't change the social structure. And so I'm just saying I don't think President Obama's policies are
Okay,
revolutionary.
we'll come back to that. We'll see what you guys. All right, a little disagreement there. Never had this in my real class. All right. All right. Non-example. What do we have here?
Ku Klux Klan rally. In front of the Capitol building.
That's what I thought. I was like, yes.
What year
Okay.
is that?
19. What did I see? It was in the 20s. So Birth of a Nation. Well, that was like 1913, 1915, but it's around this time period. They resurgent during the 1920s. Okay, so when we look at our list, we have past social norms. It's pretty much the last thing we have here. Even the Queen is part of that. So, do you want to add something else to this list or no? Even if we don't think that she belongs here or not.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
We're good?
Add something, yeah.
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Okay, an example. Oh, wow. That's Brother Huey Newton, Black Panther.
Oh, he's holding a gun there. That's it.
Okay. Look at our list over here. So this guy and Bobby Seale in the 1960s in Oakland created the Black Panther Party for self-defense. And just these images alone sent shockwaves across the country. Because the fact that it's a black man with a spear and a rifle, sitting on a kind of a throne with like some Zulu stuff in the background.
I guess we should maybe think about whether we want to keep the word popular up there.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well,
I mean,
Yeah,
he
I guess it
certainly
depends
was,
on
on
who you're.
who
Yeah.
who-
Yeah.
So universally popular would probably not fit.
Right.
Okay.
Any of these,
Right.
Except
that's
for
true.
iPod.
except for or Arthur Ashe.
People know who he is. Right, so we still have people that are trailblazers, pioneers, possible leaders at some level. Okay? I think I have like one more, two more. And I had to put this here. I
I used to have a red stapler in my classroom, and I didn't let kids staple with it.
I'm just gonna put office space, and I have to find a way to introduce him in my classroom. But I'll give him some ode there. Okay, so, and I did this because as teachers or career changers, you know, sometimes it can kind of feel like this. The idea of, you know, kind of, you just trying to just keep your head above, you know, all of the stuff. So that was more of just, you know,
But that's definitely stuck in your ways.
yes, like you just want to keep your job. Okay? I had to put that in there. All right. One of my favorite people. All right. We know who he is, right? How's our list looking? Even with our controversial people, included or excluded? Still good? We still the same?
Now, why? Let's talk about Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
He was very good at his sport.
Good.
I mean, he was one of the best. He was probably the best. But
Okay.
and I guess the question is, does being the best at something make you a revolutionary?
But he also changed his name.
He did. That's true.
You know, was one of the preeminent people in the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
And very outspoken. Went to jail because he refused to be in the Vietnam War.
I'll buy it. I'll buy it. Yeah.
I think more maybe his social action. I think probably the same way for Arthur Ashe.
Like if we put Michael Jordan up there, for instance, would we put Michael Jordan in that?
I think he would be in a non-example.
Yeah, he'd be a non-example.
Because he was like both Democrats and Republicans buy shoes.
Right.
But Muhammad Ali was very much not like that, and Arthur Ashe was very outspoken for his social causes, HIV.
Which is why I'm sort of siding with Allison on the President Obama issue.
We're gonna come back to that, what it represents, okay? All right, so because there's some other layers to this. I think you know. All right, so we're good now. All right. Okay, one more. Okay, who are these people? You guys are so young. I don't think
Billie
you know
Jean
who they are.
King and Jimmy Connors, right?
No,
Bobby Riggs,
that's
right?
Yeah,
Oh,
Bobby
Bobby
Riggs. Yeah.
I'm just gonna put
Battle of the Sexes.
Okay. Bobby R. Okay, what was the deal here?
This is the famous Battle of the Sexes where Billie Jean King challenged Bobby Riggs to a tennis match. You know, a series of matches, and Billie Jean King won them.
Yeah, he was like, well, I'm a somewhat athletic guy, and there's no way a super, you know, talented woman tennis player could ever beat me, and obviously it proved to be not the case. Okay, so that was a big deal. 60, I can't think of what year it was, 60 something. So, and I think this is my last one. No, we went backwards. Who's this nice lady?
Donna Reed.
I think it's Julie.
Yeah.
It's probably ahead of your times, but my grandparents made me watch a lot of shows with them. So the idea of the wife in the kitchen, and she's on the stove, and she has something in her hand, and she's looking at her son, yelling at him, making the face. So besides our two controversial issues, how do we